Hey, it's Terrie Carr, and thanks for checking out my web series. I bring in the artists and we chat. New artists, classics, and everyone in between. In this episode, I catch up with the mayor of the 1990s, Art Alexakis of Everclear, who talks life lessons, storytelling, health challenges, and gratitude. Let's go. So I'm with my old friend, Art Alexakis. I love you. We named you something last time you came to WDHA. You know what we gave you a nickname. You know what we called you after you left behind your back?
The silver fox?
No.
No, I still had the blonde hair then.
Smart Art. We called you Smart Art because let me tell you, we had you on the air. Here's what I love about you. I can go anywhere and talk to you about anything, and you are so well-rounded. You make us smarter. So me and my colleague, then the late Curtis K, we lost Curtis in 2020, unfortunately, but we were calling you Smart Art because when you would leave, we would say, isn't Art so smart? Doesn't he make you feel dumb? Now you got your glasses on. Now I'm really intimidated. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I'm always happy to see
got
your
all my
face.
guitars behind you. What's
I
intimidating?
love them. They're so beautiful. You are coming, by the way, to the Newton Theater on Saturday, March 8th. I would love to encourage everybody, please, please come out to the show. I think
that show's either sold out or
it's sold out. Yeah, we're sold out.
It's sold out.
Yeah, it's sold out. It is sold out. So when we were telling people to get your tickets, we weren't kidding because that show is completely sold out. So I'm still grateful that we're having the opportunity to talk because you're not necessarily coming on to promote something that is already completely sold out. So it's going to be phenomenal. We are 30 years, Sparkle and Fade. 30 years. I played it when it first came out on WDHA, and I thought it sounded like nothing else that was out there. Unfortunately, at that time, everybody had to box things. They're the alternative, modern rock, pop, punk, grunge infused, and I was like, no, I always saw Everclear as a rock band. What do you see Everclear as? What is your take?
We're a rock and roll band. All those bands are rock and roll bands. I mean, at the end of it, the metal bands are rock and roll bands. You got guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. Rock and roll. And you can call it what you want to call it. But I am so, first of all, great to see you after a few years. I am just so grateful. I'm 62. I've been clean and sober for 35, going on 36 years. I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Let's see, 2016, so going on 9 years in April.
Was it 16? Wow. And then I think you made it public like around 19.
2019.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, I needed a couple of years to process it,
Absolutely.
I told family and friends and people asked, I told them I wasn't keeping it a secret. I was just not living it out there because I needed to process it. And then I finally wrote a song about it that came out in my solo album. And before that came out, I'm like, I'm going to have to come out and talk to people. So I sent a letter to social media, to fans and friends, and it just went viral. And, talked to Rolling Stone and Variety and USA Today and Today Show and just, and talked about it. So it's still a big deal for me. To be proactive about it and to be of service to people about all of my diseases, not just MS, but also my alcoholism, which is a disease, and it's something that I feel very strongly about. This year, we give $1 every year to one of three charities, either Sweet Relief, which deals with a lot of MS and people in the industry who have cancer and stuff like that. Music Cares, which deals with getting people into treatment for recovery, for alcoholism and drug abuse and drug addiction. And then this year we're giving $1 from every ticket we sell to the Multiple Sclerosis Society.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which is a great all three are just fantastic organizations that leave nothing on the table. Everything they get, they give to people.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
and just having you out there and having people see who you are, what you're doing, and how inspiring you can be. I think that that is such a big part of the journey for anyone who has, a chronic illness that they've been dealing with, and seeing that, look, Art is out, he's making music, he's touring, he's with his friends, he's doing this, he's giving back. You are proving that, living with something that maybe was not in your grand plan,
It
um,
was, it
it
was
can be
not in
a
my
can be a
plan.
blip on your radar, and I can understand how you would have to take a little time to process this and say, where's my life going? How is my life going to be? What's going to be different? What's going to be the same? Okay, now I see where I'm going, and now I see what my next step can be. And I think it's so important. And Sweet Relief has been around for a really long time. I remember back when Sweet Relief came out in the 90s. Um, and that
Early
organization,
night,
yeah,
either late 80s,
early
early 90s,
90s, yeah.
raising money for what's her name? The
Victoria Williams, I think.
Victoria
Yeah,
Williams.
Victoria
Yeah. And
Williams.
she
And
got
seeing,
diagnosed.
yes, seeing the work. And I think early 90s, for me, I was, in my just getting into my career and everything, and not realizing, like, what do you mean musicians don't have health care? You just always assume that things are very different for people that aren't like and you think, oh my goodness, people need help with healthcare and need help with their lives. So that organization has been around for a really long time, doing a lot of good for a lot of people. And it's nice to hear you mention Sweet Relief again.
Well, Sweet Relief has been around for a while, but Music Cares originally started as an organization called MAP, Musicians Assistance Program. And I've
Right.
been working with them since 1995. Um, and the Multiple Sclerosis Society, I think, has been around since like the 40s. And so all those organizations, I know people that run all those organizations, and they're all phenomenal people that are in it for the right reason. And there's all sorts of great Mercy Care, Mercy Corps, great. There's great people out there that take care of other people and aren't trying to make money.
Yeah.
Every dollar they get goes to other people, and I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I'm just grateful that with my sobriety. And at my age, 62, I can still do it. And it's hard. It's hard. I don't walk well, but I push myself every day. I get up at 6 o'clock. By the way, I'm still living in a hotel because my house didn't burn down, but we were 350 feet from uh, ground zero for the
Oh
Eaton.
my God.
I live in North Pasadena, which is right
Ugh.
across from Altadena, and but we haven't been able to live there because of smoke damage and because it burned down the whole backyard and a lot of the front area, and we can't live there till that's taken care of. And but the whole thing with the disease and the adversity is important, I think, for all of us because it makes us try harder. It's like it's like walking. I hate walking, but I do it every day, and it keeps me going. At 62, I'm still working. I'm still playing. I'm still making music. I'm still singing. I'm still out there every night. And I really believe that if I didn't challenge adversity every day, I would be complacent
Yeah.
and I'd be just really out of shape, and I think my diseases would be way, way, they'd be getting the better than me. They'd be winning. Right now, I say it's 65-35. I'm winning.
You're winning. Oh, there's no question about it. And we wouldn't have you selling out shows with people. Look, I've been to these Summerland tours with people. You don't even need to sing because they're singing every word back to you.
They are.
When you look out into that audience, I'm standing there watching everyone. And here's what I love about the tours. You kind of put this together and getting these bands out there. And I love that. So you got, you and, Sugar Ray, say, like, bands that are still always being played on the radio. Always,
Right.
always, always. There's not a day that goes by we're not playing an Everclear song. You guys are the lucky ones. But then you also see bands who were getting so much airplay back in the day, like, say, a Soul Asylum selling like a gajillion records, and then maybe not so much now. Those bands still get to go out with you, or a band like a Space Hog, or a Marcy Playground, or a Weedus, or you still have these bands that were going out on these tours reminding people of those great moments in life in the 1990s where, this music was out there, and to see those songs being sung back as well. It's just a beautiful catalog of the music of people's lives. So I love the way that those tours were put together every year. When you decided, I want to do this, I want to really salute a period of time in music with a lot of different flavors and textures, did that just come to you in your mind, putting
Oh,
that
I
together?
think I think a lot of people were thinking about it, but I knew that like the 90 tour thing was going to happen. I think we jumped the gun a little bit and started a lot of that because the first year of Summerland, there was one 90s tour, us. The next year, there was four.
Right, 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 right.
Seven, and uh, it's real. Like we just did a cruise, and the very first '90s cruise. Now there's been '80s and '70s and
Right, right.
metal and punk and shiprocked and all those things. There's been all that, but this was just a '90s cruise with us and uh, Fastball, Collective Soul,
I love it.
Jim Blossoms, great
Yep.
bands. And next year, Sugar Ray's going to do it. And, I just, every year now, we don't do Summerland anymore because I
Yeah.
don't like to be on tour in the summer. It's too hot for me. And it's kind of a bummer for a lot of people as they get older. It's just, we're doing tours in the fall, like bus tours. And last year we did Marcy Playground and Jimmy's Chicken Shack, sold out two-thirds of the shows. This year, I can't tell you who
Okay.
on because we're gonna put the on sales in like about 2 or 3 weeks, so I can't jump the gun on
Oh,
that.
that's so awesome, though. I'm
But
so
you're gonna dig
excited.
it. It's two '90s bands that had huge hits back in the '90s and still tour,
Oh, I
and
love that.
you're gonna dig it. You're
I
gonna dig
love
it.
I love that. Well, you're such a great storyteller too. I think you're underrated in all the accolades you get for being a storyteller. People and storytelling is not just the songwriting part. It's delivering the songs. Anybody can sing a song and that's beautiful. That's its own box. But I think the storytelling in talking about the things that you've been through, but they're very there's a lot of subject matter that's deep and dark, and yet there's still a happiness that comes to me always at the end of the song. So talk to me about being a storyteller. Do you think of yourself like a storyteller? You do.
110%,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's the thing is people think that all my songs are autobiographical because I sing from the first person. And at the time when we came out, 90s bands weren't doing that. They were like doing very abstract stuff and that's cool. I like a lot of that. That's not my thing. My thing is like I like to tell stories. I can sometimes do a little abstract in it, but it's still telling a story because I love storytellers. Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, even Black Sabbath, telling stories. That's what I want to hear. And I think most people inherently, I think it goes way back into our genes and our DNA that we love storytellers. And people think all my songs are autobiographical. I'd say about 35% are, 33%, a third. Another third is I take different things in my life and I put them together out of sequence and create characters and an amalgam out of that, a composite character out of that. But there's still stuff from my life in it. And then the other third is just, I just write songs. I just tell stories. And I come up with ideas and I tell stories, you know. And
And we emerge at the end. I always feel like I emerge at the end of an Everclear song, and there's just I just feel really good. I feel like there's almost like, if it's feeling heavy, then all of a sudden it's like the heavens open up.
well, thank you for saying that because you know what, Terry, it's just, I believe in my life that I've lived, and I've lived a lot of rough stuff of some by my choosing, some by not my choosing. But regardless, I've gotten through all of it. And my perspective is that even in the darkness, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Might be a long ways away. It might be, you might have to squint to see it, but there's always a way out. Life is like, well, it's bad now, it's going to get better. But guess what? It's going to get worse again. It's going to get better. Just shut up, hold on, and let's go. I mean, the
I
complaining
think of
about
you
it.
too as like the godfather of the 90s. Do you know that? No, I really do.
I, I think Eddie Vedder would have words about that.
Yeah, no,
But
I just
I appreciate
do.
it.
I see you as definitely yeah, you and Eddie. I mean, it's sad when I think about it because a lot of people aren't left.
Well,
A lot
that
of our 90s are a lot
that
of our 90s guys aren't still around. So,
that
yeah.
that happens. As well as I do. That
Yep.
happens as you get older. People start dying on you. It's rough. I lost my sister, my oldest sister, the only sibling I had left, out of nowhere. About 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, texted me and said she wasn't feeling good and was going to the doctor. And then 3 days later, they were pulling water or fluid out of her lungs, and she had been
No.
totally healthy and totally great. And then she passed, like, from mesothelioma,
Oh my
uh,
God, mesothelioma.
mesothelioma. Yeah,
That's what Warren Zevon
yeah.
also had. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, but
Just just
it's so
just a
true.
a week and a half ago.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank
But
you. I
you
appreciate
feel like this is we hear all of these things, over and over and over, and you're grateful for every moment that you
it.
have in life because you just never know. And I'm so sorry to hear about your sister. Um, and yeah, I mean, when we look back, I think the cherishing of those moments that make us feel happy, being at an Everclear show and watching the entire audience sing Santa Monica back to you, those are all the more precious
Yeah.
as we get older. And you have such a better appreciation. You probably have such a better appreciation for everything than maybe you did, say in 2000, with a couple of records under your belt. You're here now, it's 2025. You've got all of this road behind you. You see where you've been, you see where you're going, and there's probably a different feeling on stage these days.
I think there is. I mean, we're older. We don't jump around as much as we used to, but we still move around, and the other guys do. And what it really comes down to is gratitude. And you were talking about being grateful for what we have, and what not and not angry about what or resentful what we don't have. And that's big in when you work a 12-step program. And but talking about gratitude is one thing. One of the things about gratitude for me and my program and my life and a lot of people around me is that when we feel the gratitude for what we have, we want to pass that on. We want to be of service to other people and do what we can. Maybe it's not as much. Maybe I don't have a lot of money. I can do a little something, but that's giving someone else gratitude for that. And hopefully they pass that along because gratitude is a part of love that it's not this hippy dippy kind of thing. It's the cement that holds our society together. And it's, as we were speaking about earlier, it's getting far and few between, and we need more of it.
A little more
But
humanity. Yep.
but
You know it.
absolutely, and more gratitude, I think, for just what we have and not for what we don't have. But one of the things we were talking about earlier, and what you were talking about brought to mind is there's a whole generation of kids that don't like contemporary music. I mean, a lot of them online, and they're gravitating towards the 90s because they feel like the 90s was the last vestige of real rock
It's
and
their
roll.
classic rock. I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
It is their classic rock.
Yep.
So they're going through and finding the bands that they glom onto. And I hope you come to the show when we play next week. It's like these kids know every word to every song. We're talking late teens, 20s, late 20s, kids that weren't even born when you were playing these songs on the radio.
Right. I know. I
And I
know.
was making them in the studio. They weren't even born yet. And it's just talk about the power of music, the power of just human endeavor of making something. And that's the great thing about it is like my daughter, when she was little would get confused and not say musician. She'd tell everybody her dad was a magician.
People were waiting for you
And,
to get the saw and the box out.
yeah, where's your staff? Where's your
Oh,
beard?
that's great. That's
Um,
great.
but but it's funny because it is magic. Creating is something you take from nothing and you create something from it. You take from an idea, you take from a feeling, you take from memories, you take from even resentments and gratitude and stuff like that. All the feelings you have, you can put into a 3 minute, 4 minute song that can impact other people's lives. And I tell people when people start talking smack about one hit wonders, I'm like, man, where's your hit? Where's your big hit that people remember you from? Well, those guys in the 90s, they only had the one hit. Did they? I don't know.
That's
That
so
album,
funny.
that album sold with 11 other songs on it, and it sold, 1 million, 2 million records. So,
Hey, the
you know,
1990s is when they came out with the diamond status, because people were selling so many records. And some of those bands people will say that about now. And it's like, nope, you weren't there, you don't get it. You were
you
not
don't,
there, you absolutely don't get it. Okay, so now he is the magician. He is the mayor of the 90s
smart
and
art.
smart art. So I've got the trifecta of all of my artness. And I'm always so happy to talk to you. When it dropped in my inbox that you were playing the Newton Theater, oh, can Art, I was like, oh my God, please, I'd love to have him on. And then of course, between that time and now, show is sold out. So I hope those of you that are listening and watching are going to this show next week. I will absolutely be going to the show. And then you're kind of teasing that there's going to be another announcement for some more touring down the line in the future. So
Oh,
looking so
there
forward to
will.
getting that. Yeah.
There will before the end of the year. Yeah, we've got a big tour and it's going to go all over the place. I think there's two shows in New Jersey,
Woo!
definitely not Newton,
Oh,
but
excited.
there's one close to that and there's one in Asbury Park and of course playing Irving Hall and
Oh, Irving Plaza in New York City.
Irving Plaza.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
And,
Oh, that is
and so
great.
it's a great tour, man. It's going to be a long tour too. It's like 40 something days
Woo! I
for
love
old
it. I
guys.
love it. Art, thank you so much for the time. It is always such a pleasure. I can't wait to see you in person, my friend.
So good to see you, Terry. Thank you so much.